Hello everyone. Sorry that it's taken me a while to get back to answering some of the many questions you sent me. But as you may know, 2 weeks ago I started studying conducting at university. And it's very exciting to conduct, but it's very time intensive. So now I have a little break, and so I thought I'd answer one question. So here's the question. Can you compose music that still sounds classical with only 4 chords, like in pop songs? Well, I like that question. I'll tell you why. Actually, it's quite a coincidence, but my new opera, The Emperor's New Waltz, starts off with a similar theme. So there's a boy, a singer-songwriter, Jonas. He's a gardener. And it starts off, so he's sitting in the garden with his guitar, and he sings a ballad, and he's hoping that the girl who's sleeping in the window above will notice. And indeed she does, as she wakes up. But she tells her maid, "Oh well, nice little tune, but so primitive, just 4 chords." So you can see the relationship doesn't exactly start off on the best terms. But as the story goes on, things will change. Yesterday I couldn't even finish answering the question because I got thrown out of the room, someone needed it for a lesson. But anyway, so back to your question. I think you could definitely have a melody that sounds classical with 4 chords. In fact, you can even have it with just 2 chords. For example, Rossini could go on for ages with just 2 chords, so tonic and dominant. So tonic, in this case E flat major, and dominant, B flat 7. And Rossini would do go on like this forever. In fact, Rossini actually does, but you get the point. Actually, even the greatest master, Mozart, has passages with just 2 chords, especially in his concerti. So here, for example, is a passage from Concerto number 19. Here the tonic is G, dominant D. Passage, there were just 2 chords, G and D. And if you don't believe me, you can play over what I just played now with your keyboard or piano, and you'll see that one of the chords always fits to the melody. So anyway, the answer to your question is definitely yes. You can go on for a while on 4 or even 2 chords and still sound classical. I mean, what could sound more classical than Mozart? However, there's a big but. In classical music, you don't go on too long on 4 or 2 chords, unless you're Rossini, because at some point it actually does get boring and monotonous. And so you go to different chords and modulate to different keys. And that's the reason why I love classical music so much, exactly because of the richness of harmony.